Hey, so I'm so excited for today's interview with Katie. Katie and I have gotten the chance to connect over Facebook the last day or so. She has been a little bit quieter in the group. She's kind of just been off like doing her own thing. She does make posts here and there, but I've had the chance to really start connecting with her. And I'm so excited for her to share her story. Katie is just a true hustler. She is a full-time mom of 5. She works a full-time job and she is crushing it with her business within her first 30 days with no experience in e-commerce. She was able to generate over $3,000 in sales. So I don't want to dive into her story too much because that's why she's here. Katie, how's it going?
It's great today. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So let's talk a little bit about your experience. I know like you didn't have much experience, but tell me a little bit about if you had any experience like building websites or selling things or just business online, or was this totally brand new to you? If you could kind of touch on that for us.
Totally brand new. So I've ran businesses for people, like obviously a fast food chain. That's what I run now. And it was just strange. I was like scrolling YouTube and then your video popped up and I was like, that looks super fun. And so that's like the first introduction to anything e-commerce related or selling anything online at all that I've ever had. So I definitely was an infant. So anything I learned was strictly from what I learned through your program and stuff. So I had no clue what I was doing at all. Zero.
Would you consider yourself someone that would be, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't run a business. Like, I'm not tech savvy. I'm not too good with computers. So kind of talk to me about your level of experience when it comes to computers and your tech experience.
So I'm okay with computers. I'm comfortable with computers. So it was easy to follow along for sure. But as far as like ever like building a website or anything like that, I never did that. I'm like good with like Excel and Word and the basic computer stuff like that. But as far as like anything else, I was clueless. Um, it was easy to follow along though, so that was really really great, and being taught and stuff like that. So it just kept getting more confident as I went, and it was nice.
Cool. So what made you decide to take that leap of faith and join us here at Ecom Babes?
It was like the timing. I feel like a lot of things in life for me is about timing and how it lines up for me and if it's going to be logical in my life. And so when I was laying in bed and the video popped up, I watched it like 3 times. And then before I then decided to set up to get the appointment to get my call with Kelsey. And I was really nervous in the beginning because I have like, investing in something like that. And it just was like, there's so many scams out there. I thought for sure it wasn't going to be too good to be true. I'm going to be rich soon, maybe. And so, but I set some logical, like realistic expectations of it, like I'm willing to put this into myself and for me and my family, and we'll see where it goes. Like at the end of the day, the worst thing I can get is an education, and that's, as long as I'm going to learn something, knowledge is power. And so I felt there was nothing wrong with that. So it felt right, and it was down really like around Christmassy time, and so I got some type of Christmas bonus too with it, which was really really great. And so Kelsey picked me, and I thought that was pretty cool, and I was like, well, God's gonna make a way, and so he did, and here I am.
That's awesome. So talk to us about your success so far, because I know you haven't been here very long. So if you can kind of touch on that, like what your success has been, what your sales have been looking like this month. I know you're about to have a really big month, and just how long you've been here. Kind of just touch on that for us.
So I've been in the program for about 3 months approximately, yeah. And I launched my store once, and then I accidentally deleted all my products on accident, and I don't really even know exactly how I did that. So I'm not the most tech savvy, obviously. But I just recouped myself and put the foot forward and got my products back on there, and launched my store. And then like the first day I would make like $129, and I was like super excited. I had like $10 sales and $13 sales, and I was like, this isn't going to get me anywhere. Like I need bigger sales. So I realized what people liked, and that's where I focused it a lot at, was at the item that the people enjoyed the most. And so I promote those the most, and that's what's giving me the most sales right now. And then just embracing that 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 items that they like the most, and I push those to people and they
Cool.
buy them.
Cool. So this month we are halfway through the month. What are
Mhm.
your sales looking like so far, and what do you think you're going to finish the month at?
Right now I'm like I'm like 2,000, 2,200 ish so far this month, and today's been a pretty good day. I'm almost to 400 for today, and I'm hoping to end at 3,500. But I believe with the way it's going to be going, it's going to be looking more like a 42, 4,300. I'm hoping that'd be awesome. My
Cool.
goal was to take baby steps. Like I didn't want to overwhelm myself and my family either, because I was like, I'm not ready for 10, 15, $25,000 a month store. Like in the beginning, I need to learn more. It's a lot to talk to the people and stuff and make sure everything's going okay. So I was okay with progressing into, a couple $100 a week and then going up as I went. And then, now out of nowhere, it was just, I wasn't even thinking I was going to hit $3,000 in a month at all. I was okay with maybe making 1,000 and, learning still more, but the customers like what they like, and I'm just gonna have to go with what they want at this point. So
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because even us connecting today, I know we both had a really busy day, and like we're
mhm,
doing this call in the evening and we're going to do it
mhm,
this morning, and just like connecting with you throughout the day, I've really learned how busy you truly are, like working a full-time job, having 5 kids. It's crazy like what you're doing and what you're making happen. I mean, some people only accomplish these results when they're doing this full time, and you like have no time. So what does a day in the like life look like with your business, and like how much would you say you're spending in terms of time? Because I know something that really holds women up a lot, and the reason they think that they can't start a business and they can't move forward is they don't have the time. They're like, well, I'm a mom, I work a job, where am I going to find this time? So if you could just touch on any like pieces of advice and what your day looks like and how you make it happen.
so I learned a lot in the beginning of the program with the coaching part is like, setting the calendar and what does your day look like and really reflecting on that. And I held myself to that though, because it was important to stay structured. Because if I slipped off personally in my own experience in the beginning of the day, I would have to make up for it later on when I got home to work on my business. So I have a small advantage because I do make my own schedule at my business, my job that I have now during the day. So I can take my laptop to work with me as long as the restaurants are doing okay. I can take a couple minutes and, work on a few things, push a couple orders, and that's great. But the majority of the time, so I didn't, shortchange my job because I don't want to like, take advantage of my position that I am now. I worked a lot after work. So I would come home from work, 6 o'clock ish, and then cook dinner for my family. And 8 on was my time for me and my ecom babes classes and stuff. And I would really work hard from then. But I had to make sure I slept enough so that I could work the next day. And so I would do ecom from probably 8 to 1 a.m. And then I would work on my classes. I'd made sure that more of my energy, my focus was during my classes. And then like when it was time to do like a little bit of website work, I would do that more of my winding down because it was not as much, processing on that kind of stuff to like add products or whatnot. So I spent a good 5 hours a day, 4 hours a day on building my business and stuff. And now with the way it is, I can just randomly, do what I need to do a couple hours during the day. And then when I come home, I can push a couple orders, answer a few emails and stuff like that. And then I'm pretty good. So it's way less time now that I've invested everything I needed to invest. And it's easier now than it was in the beginning, if that makes any sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like that compound effect.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's cool that you went all in like that and you just found the time, because a lot of times at the end of the day, it's people, they're like, oh, I got to wind down now. I have to watch a show and go to sleep or whatever. And it's like, just use that time and you can build something. And you clearly are an example of that, because you have a business now that can generate $3,000-4,000 a month, and you're just getting started. You have not been doing this
I
long at
can't
all.
wait. I see it, like I've envisioned it, and I'm not going to stop envisioning it because I know that it's capable of going to bigger, even higher scales than what it is now, for sure. I
Yeah.
feel like right now I'm probably the only one holding it back at this point, just because I want to make sure that I'm stable for it when it happens as well.
So with what you've generated in the 30 days that you've been open, approximately 30 days you've been open, this around $3,000 in sales, did that come from all organic strategies? Were you paying for advertising? What did that look like?
So I have both. I got affiliates, quite a bit of those. I'm really good with people. They tend to be drawn to me, and that's great. I work in customer service, so I kind of have a lot of training when it comes to that. So talking with people and, making them really feel like they want to be a part of what I'm trying to build, and it's like a we thing. They really enjoyed that, so I've gained quite a bit of, I guess that would be natural with them. I don't, and then I did do some ads as well. Yes,
Awesome.
I
Cool.
like the ads. The ads are fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I make commercials and everything. I was really having fun with that stuff.
That's good. I'm glad that you started out with the organic and really proved the concept, because now obviously doing
Mhm.
ads, it's a lot easier for you.
Yeah, I have fun with both. I am seeing better results with the ads now though. But my affiliates are great. I really love them, and I still have so many that apply and sign up and stuff that I sometimes have a hard time keeping up with them. But they don't buy as much stuff. I think they want some stuff. But
Yeah. Cool.
yeah, I
Okay.
like them.
So what's the vision for this? Let's say a year from now. I know you don't want to overwhelm yourself and take on too much with your busy life, but let's say a year from now, like what's the goal? How much do you want to be making? What do you want to still be working your job? Like talk to us about that.
So I definitely plan on not working my Burger King job anymore. I do plan on going full e-commerce and pushing my store to its highest capabilities. I've been reaching out to some of the vendors and stuff about branding and some of the products that I want to brand, and they're willing to work with me on those things. So that's some of the stuff I'm looking into now. And my brand, I believe, will do really well. So I'm excited. I'm thinking, 25, 50K a month would be wonderful.
Awesome. All right, cool.
That's
I
my
think
goal.
good. I
I
mean,
can see it already, like in stores and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I love that. I mean, several other women in the community have done it, and I feel like you are on that same track. So I'm excited to see you make that happen
I
for
can't
sure.
wait. Yeah.
So another thing that I'm really big on, as you saw from week one of the program, is becoming the version of yourself who is worthy of the success. Because we all have to evolve and become a better, more evolved version of ourselves for that success to come. And you've obviously done that, because you're seeing success. So can you touch a little bit on week one and any mindset transformations that you've had, or any personal transformations that you've had since joining us here?
So week one, I was like nervous, because I did go through that like self-doubt where this isn't gonna kind of work, like because nothing, I was getting sales, but I'm like, I want a lot of sales. So I had to let myself know that I deserved the small amounts and that I needed to get to the bigger amounts, and it was going to take time. So everything to me was baby steps, And so even if it was a $5 item that was purchased, it is all because of the hard work that I did in order to get the people to trust me to buy that $5 item. And so I had to congratulate myself for everything. And in the beginning, at first, I didn't think it was good enough, but it definitely is good enough. And I know that now, because now I'm doing even more, because the more people purchase, the more they naturally let each other know that it's okay to purchase from here. So even from the $5 to the $129 to the $300, that it's all because people are trusting the brand that I'm putting together, and that the process has worked its way to where it is now. So just believe in the first week, and even if it is a dollar sale that you get, at least that that you're making it to where it needs to be to earn the trust of the people in the world to purchase from
Love that. That's awesome. So, in terms of the community, I know we have a pretty tight knit, active community, and like a lot of coaches in there and a lot of support. So, what has your experience been like in terms of just people in the community, like connecting with other women, working with the coaches? Talk to us about that a little bit.
you. They're super like prompt, and I really appreciate the promptness, and like you can ask a question and it's going to be answered like pretty much within like 10 minutes, and that's super amazing, because during that time when you want that question answered is when you're really going through that moment. That moment is you're working on your computer, you're in the middle of a class and you really need some help, or you're stumped, and it's important to be able to take care of that problem at that time. Otherwise it could really deter you from what you're trying to do. And it's really great because when that problem is there, the community is there for you, and you don't have to wait for a support center to call you back. So it's a beautiful thing. Miles is amazing. She's always like super quick and prompt to help out. Kelsey's amazing. The other girls are super supportive. Even if we know we don't know each other well, we're always encouraging each other on and excited and ringing the bell for each other about their sale. And it's just great. It's great to be part of something like that. And then there's nobody taking from anybody. I mean, like they're not like trying to take your stuff from you, or wanting to take your money or anything. So it's nice to be a part of a group where it's a natural, organic relationship that's being built between women that are empowering each other to strive and get to the next level and believe in themselves. And it's great. I like being there. I just go in and just scroll sometimes. I don't even have anything to say.
I agree. It's good to just surround yourself with that energy. Just something about being around a bunch of ambitious women that all want to see each other win. It's like putting a new battery in or something.
My favorite is everybody's first announcing themselves post. They're just super like, oh yeah, I'm ready. And I'm like, that's the one. You need to keep that picture of yourself and put it on your wall, because that's the way you felt when you first started. So when you're frustrated, go back to that first post you ever announced yourself at and remember what you said, that you got this.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. So what is, like, let's say, and this is the final question here that I love to always ask people is, let's say you have someone that really wants to start a business, or maybe they're an ecom babe, a fellow ecom babe, but they're kind of just like sitting back and they're questioning themselves or this process. What would your like piece of advice be to that person that wants to dive all in, but they're nervous? They have their foot halfway in the door.
Go for it. Like, it's going to happen. And a lot of times people are more nervous about, they look at other people's stuff that they have going on, and they forget to focus inside themselves. And so it's really important to stop looking outside and look inside and just go for what you feel inside is the best thing for you to do. If your gut says to go for it, go for it. I mean, you obviously inside your head have something that's in there that's pestering out for you to give it a try, and it wouldn't be there if it wasn't meant for you to try it. So you have to give it a try and believe in yourself and push past that scary place in order to be successful. We all have this scary place and we all have to push past it. And if we don't push past it, then we're going to be hindered by the scary place all the time.
I love that. Great advice. Thank you so much. I love your story. I'm really excited to see what you do. I can tell you have that like fire within you, and you're here to do really big things, and you're moving so fast. I mean, you should be so proud of yourself, like with the schedule that you have, and to have made over $3,000 in about 30 days time, like that's pretty incredible. And so just keep this momentum up. I know you're on to really big things, and I'm very excited for us to do another one of these in the next year when you're making that 50K a month.
Right? You might have to catch me on my private jet then. I'm not too sure if I'll be available. Just kidding. I'm just
kidding. Great. That's awesome.
I'm awful.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with everyone. Have a really great night, okay?
Nice to meet you, Courtney. Thank you.